Good afternoon everybody. I'm out here in the kitchen garden just outside our kitchen here at the hospice, and I've been planting out our celeriac here in this vegetable bed. Now the video today isn't just about planting the celeriac, it's also about to give you some advice on how to kind of manage slugs and snails. And I know that celeriac is one crop that they do absolutely love, and they will be able to diminish and eat all this probably in one night. So it was kind of just to coincide it with this planting to give you some ideas and advice on how to manage slugs and snails in a more natural way. Now we've grown our celeriac in a pot first and got it to a good size. So the leaves are quite mature, they're not really tiny and small and fresh, which is what the slugs and snails love, and then potted them out. Obviously we've got 2 rows spaced out quite a bit between each other. These are a root veg, so they will get a lot bigger over time. As I've planted each one level with the pot level, what the plants come out of, I've also dug like a little well round each plant, so each individual plant has got a tiny little well round them. In that well I have now placed loads of ground coffee, just your general coffee shop ground coffee, or if you have cafetières, things like that. Not instant coffee, this is just ground coffee around each plant. So that is one deterrent for a slug or a snail, is coffee grounds. I don't know particularly what it is about it, but they do not seem to like it. They kind of detest it, whether it's as they're going on it or whether it's the taste, the smell, I don't really know. But we've been using it here at the hospice, and we use it a lot on our seedlings and in our pots, plants that we just don't want them to get to and eat. So that's one deterrent. Another one is we use a lot of these, you can see here, these little pots. Now these get buried into the ground and have a lid on them with a gap that has enough for a slug to get into. And you either in these pots can put live bait, so as in some apples, strawberries, something that they're going to smell and want to go to, or like us, you can put in beer, lager, anything like that. For whatever reason, slugs absolutely love it. It's the yeast in them, they're attracted to it. They will go into the pot. Once they are in that liquid, they won't come out. So we use beer. Beer is a really good way of doing it. So we have a few of those pots dotted around these celeriac to deter Mr. Slug, or for him to go to them. Another way, obviously, when you are growing some crops, is that you can actually plant a sacrificial crop as well, so a crop that you're quite happy for Mr. Slug or snail to eat. Marigolds are really good for that, lettuces, a quick crop, something that's going to be there within a couple of weeks, and obviously Mr. Slug comes along, he can smell the celeriac but feels that actually, do you know what, I can't be bothered to go that far, I'll just eat this lettuce that's here. So you can do that. Obviously here we haven't got the space to do that, so we have to use other means with regards to the coffee and the beer. You can also set out again a bit of a baiting trap, and what I've always found is very good is half a grapefruit with some sugar on it. Put that on the ground, await the slugs to come, mainly at night, and then come out in the night, check it and get rid of the slugs off it. They'll be on it eating it. Get rid of them. Obviously there are other ways as well. I mean, in my own garden I have chickens. Brilliant. And obviously hedgehogs. Hedgehogs absolutely love slugs and snails, so do look after them. And that's part why we don't use, you know, slug pellets that you can get in the garden centre. I'm not saying they don't work, but they're not good for other nature, i.e. birds, hedgehogs. If a slug eats their pellets, disappears, dies of what he's eaten, and then a bird eats him or a hedgehog does, then he's going to end up with a really bad stomach. So we tend to try and be as natural as possible with coffee grounds, the beer. You can use also things like eggshells. They don't like eggshells. They hate to go over eggshells, but you'd need a lot of eggshells for a garden like this. Also, when it comes to having your crops in pots, if you want to stop them getting into the pot, what we do here at the hospice is actually put Vaseline around the rim of the pot. And for whatever reason, again, they just do not like it. And that's why it's important to keep your pots spread out a little bit, because otherwise what a slug will do is get onto one and he'll use a leaf to get onto the next one instead of using the pot. So there are many ways to deter a slug and a snail. You know, they're nature as well. They do need food, but if you don't want them to eat your precious crops, then look at other ways of managing them naturally. I hope you get some kind of information from this and use it within your own gardens. And I shall see you all again next week. Thank you.